beyond the world we know.
Nathan Drake is my voice, if you haven't guessed that by now. It's not, I don't have to put on a voice, because when we first sat down and we're looking at this character to do, I was invited to put as much of myself in this character as possible. And because it's a motion capture performance, because it's full performance, it's very, very cinematic. We shoot Uncharted, and this whole Nathan Drake collection was shot the same way you would shoot a motion capture for a film. There's no difference. Creator Amy Hennig always invited me to put my sense of humor into him, just ad-lib when I wanted to and do things here and try this and try that. It was a very, very collaborative process. It was teamwork, it was heart. And as the years went on, she kind of understood how to write for me because she knew my voice, so to speak. And, and then, that coupled with what Naughty Dog was able to animate and program and put together, it just became this amazing experience. So in terms of preparation, I get a cup of coffee and I put on the suit. And then I just go play Nolan North, the treasure hunter, who happens to be named Nathan Drake, if that makes any sense, because I was always invited and encouraged to put as much of myself into these characters, as was Richard McGonigal, who played Sully, and Emily Rose, who played Elena. There are parts of those characters' personalities that are Emily and Richard, as much as, Nathan Drake's characteristics are mine. I was on a television show in the States, and when it went off the air, when it was canceled, we did it for about 5 years. It was just, a bunch of my friends had said, hey, you're always doing these voices in between, goofing around with us. One of the guys said, you should look into voiceover, do cartoons and things like that. And, I kind of hemmed and hawed at it. My wife was always saying, you should do this. You're always doing voices to the kids and everything. And I had always done it in school. I've said this before, that I basically get paid to do now what I got in trouble in school for. So what I did is, when the show went off the air, a friend introduced me to a voiceover agent, and I said, well, I don't know if I've never done this, and these are some of the voices I do, and I put it on tape, and next thing you know, I'm signed to the agency, and they start sending me out for things, and I started booking jobs. And the first few jobs that I started booking were video games. The video games were still, a lot of them just use music, a lot of them use sounds, and there wasn't a lot of voice actors in games at the time, but they were willing to pay me to go do it. And so I started doing that, and then games became more and more, and in between doing television jobs here and there, I just started doing more and more voiceover stuff, and then the gaming blew up. I started getting into animation and films, and it just sort of, it's like a small pebble that starts rolling down a hill and collects snow, and it snowballs, and now it's just turned into an avalanche of stuff. So it's been great. Voice acting and acting, to me, it's all the same. I don't care if it's a camera, if it's a microphone, or if it's a live audience. Acting is acting. A lot of people ask me, they say, well, I want to be a voice actor, what should I do? I said, well, become an actor, because even if you can do an interesting voice or a funny voice, you still have to be able to use that voice and perform, right? So for me, it doesn't seem, I don't see the difference. Yeah, there are different techniques and challenges involved with the different mediums, but it all comes down to imagination, preparation, and trusting instincts. I guess I don't have a lot of really artsy things to say about acting. I'm not a method actor. I don't really work that way. I think some of the best actors are kids. You can, depending on what the character is, if they come to me and show me artwork and it's a big heavy-set monster with a big tooth sticking up, he might sound a little different, because sometimes I try to find that characteristic, because somebody with an underbite might sound like this. It's a might be, there's just different placements and different things. I usually like to look at artwork and see what he looks like. For instance, in the Arkham games, I do the Penguin. And when they first showed me the artwork, he was kind of stuffed up and a little punched over, and had a bottle jammed in his eye, and he was crooked, and he had a cigar, so I decided the cigar would make his throat sound like this. And then they said, well, we want an American version of the English Cockney, but it can't be too Cockney dead on. It has to be, because he's an American who was raised in England. His parents, I don't remember the story. So he just came up with this kind of voice, and so when I do the voice, I have to kind of make my face, pretending that bottle's there. I don't know why. I probably don't have to do that, but I do. And, so you look at the physical characteristics of a character. You look at where he's from, what his setting, and then ultimately what the director and the producers want.
But that's not how it will end. This is how it will end.
Sorry. Sully! We don't get to choose how we start in this life.
Had to try.
Real greatness